All right, guys, it's time to check out the Zodiac Super Seawolf GMT. This is the Sherbert, if you will, or the creamsicle, a lot of people maybe call it. But you can see this beautiful white with orange colorway on this guy here. Zodiac seems to be pretty bold when it comes to certain colorways. I don't think this one's so much, I mean, there's a certain level of boldness on here, but most of it's white, and then just that pop of orange is the bold factor to it. So nonetheless, very cool watch. Limited edition. This is number 201 of only 282. These sold out pretty quick when they were released, I think early or sometime in 2020, I'm pretty sure. And I think the retail price was like $16.95, so $1,695 US dollars, and they sold out pretty quick. So big thanks to Steve over at JTM Watches. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description. You can check out his Instagram, maybe reach out to him if you're looking for some weird, hard to find things. He's one of my resources that I lean on pretty heavily for items like that. Let's get into the watch dimensions here. So 40 millimeter at the bezel. So what you're seeing looking from the top down is going to be a 40 mil, even though the case is only 39 millimeter. Lug to lug is 47.5, so nice dimensions there. 13.5 thick, but that's including the double dome sapphire crystal. Has a slight boxed effect too, just over the bezel insert. 20 millimeter lug width here, and the bracelet tapers down nicely to 16. This one has polished center end links. This other one I have over here that Zodiac sent in is brushed center links, as you can see there. Same bracelet, just brushed, polished. So I kind of like the polish on there. I know it's going to scratch up, but it just adds to the overall bling, level of bling that the watch has, because for the most part, it's almost entirely brushed with a little bit of polish relief there as the lugs kind of angle down, and then you have some polished around the edges of the bezel, and then of course on the crown and the case back. Speaking of the crown, it is a screw down crown, 200 meter water resist on this guy, but the crown size is 6.35 millimeter. I would like to see the crown increased if they can figure out a way to clearance things, but I know as you increase that, you're going to have interference with the bezel, so, you know, but 6.5, you'd be surprised what going just from 6.35 to 6.5 would do, or maybe, you know, give us more purchase there on that, because it is a little bit of a bugger to actually get on that crown. So I can still do it, obviously, and I think you will too. Nice pop to it, and then you're going to be able to hand wind in that position, which this one, so in case you don't know, Zodiac is owned by the Fossil Group, and typically in a Zodiac, you're going to see the STP movements, which is also owned by Zodiac. So they are traditionally an in-house movement watch because the brand is, you know, owned by Fossil Group. This one, however, is using the ETA 2893-2 movement, so a little bit different on this one for sure. So you're going to be able to do that, and then if we go ahead and hack the movement and get it into a safe time zone here where we can adjust, so I can show you how to adjust the day and the GMT hand. So in the first position here, you're going to be able to adjust the GMT hand, the little orange hand there, to whatever position you want to go. Now it's only going to go forward on this guy, and then if you spin the crown the other way, you're going to be able to adjust the date. So and that is the way a lot of ETAs and other GMT style movements are going to function. Just so happens that's the case. So if we get the hands out of the way so we can see the rest of the dial, go ahead and screw that down. So let's take a look at the case back real quick. I'm going to zoom in so we can see my smudges on there. So you can see LE limited edition 201, which is probably laser engraved, and then the 282 is engraved in there. And then the part number 200 meters, 660 feet, Zodiac GMT. Pretty simple. And there's a closer look at the dial. This is a beautiful white dial. You can see it's kind of a matte white, and then you have those polished indexes. And then above those, I mean, the 12, 6, and 9 are oversized indexes, and then, of course, the date's at the 3, so that one's interrupted. But they're fully polished, chamfered, all that good stuff. And then above those, or just the outside perimeter of those, it's just orange. Well, they didn't loom that. So there's no loom on any of the indexes. The only loom on this is going to be on the second hand, the hour and minute hand. So I will do a loom shot at the end, but honestly, I'm not even mad about that, because I like the way the orange looks on the outside of those. Now they could have maybe, instead of having the metal in the center part of the index, you could have just did a strip of lume there. I think that would have been fine. So I guess that would be my only gripe. And then I'm not sure what the bezel insert is made out of. I don't know if it's acrylic or sapphire. I really couldn't find that information. It doesn't feel soft at all, so I believe it might be sapphire. At least I hope it is. And again, you know, if you're going to do that, I mean, you have the blue printing in there, which is nice, but there's really no blue anywhere else. I don't even think the printing on the dial is blue. I think that's black. So again, with the white and the orange, I guess you can't really lume that because you need a darker print. So I'm sure that triangle is lumed. I hope. We'll see in a moment. But really good, clean overall. I don't see any flaws with it or any imperfections. So the quality control is good on it. And it runs really good too. The other thing that is kind of trick is the way they did the buckle. So they skeletonized and chamfered out that centerpiece there. So when you do the fold over, you have 4 micro adjust. It kind of just, it's friction fit, it just snaps down, and then the fold over keeper just kind of snaps in place and then fills that void. Looks cool. I don't feel like it really serves a purpose though, because now to open it, I mean, you have to have some sort of fingernail. I've been keeping mine shorter, but that tape was there to kind of save me a little bit. Other than that, like when you get your finger in there, I mean, it's kind of stamped or cut sharp metal. So that one's not too bad, but then this one here, you can use the meat of your finger and usually pop that open. But, and again, that's got some tape on it, so it's a little bit softer feeling. But if you get rid of that, then you're you know, shoving the meat of your finger just into that metal, which is chamfered. You can kind of see it's almost, it's not really sharp, but it's sharp-ish. So, another little gripe. I usually don't gripe, but I'm griping a little bit. I do like the watch. I do like the way it fits. And I like the way it looks. It's very clean, simple, elegant design. I love the taper on the bracelet. It balances out nice because the watch isn't super heavy either. So a nice taper on it is going to keep it nice and balanced. Obviously, I didn't size it. So there it is. Before I do the lume shot or the lack of lume shot, let me look at the bracelet here because I didn't size this one, so I'm not sure how it's sized. They're definitely not screw links. I don't see arrows. So I would suspect it is it's hard to see. It's a pin and collar. I don't think it's split pin. But I'm not sure. Man, it almost looks like the collar could be on the outer flank. I was wondering if the collar was in the center, but if I zoomed in a little bit there, you can almost see like another little collar there. So the collar might be on this outer pin. Hard to say. If you guys know if you've sized one, let me know. I will be sizing this one, but I haven't done it yet, so I don't know exactly. Oh, the bezel. Nice, solid thuds. So you're going to get 1, 2 per index, so you have 24 clicks, and it is bi-directional. That is an awesome way to do a GMT bezel. Thank you very much, Zodiac, for doing that. All right, guys, let's kill the lights. Check the lume, or lack of lume in this case. Still a little bit of lack of lume sacrificed for how cool the white and the orange looks together. Trade-off. And they use 2 different colors. It looks like the pip at the top there would be blue and then green on the hands. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.